class. Today I'm going to read you the story, Bread Comes to Life, A Garden of Wheat and a Loaf to Eat. It was written by George Levinson and photography by Shmuel Thaler. As this photography, that means it's going to have photos and not drawings. So before I start reading you the story, we're going to go over the story vocabulary so you can understand the story better. Our first word is goods.
Goods are things that are made to be sold.
Our next word is produce.
To produce is to make or create something.
First word is create.
To create is to make something.
The next word is designs.
Designs are patterns or shapes that decorate things such as plates, paper, and clothes.
Knowledge.
Knowledge is what you know about a topic from understanding or study.
Natural resources.
Natural resources are things in nature that we can use.
And weave.
To weave means to lace together many strands of yarn into cloth, a blanket, or a rug. Bread Comes to Life, A Garden of Wheat and a Loaf to Eat. Written by George Levinson. Photography by Shmuel Thaler. Bread is a food we eat every day. So many kinds, so many ways. White bread, black bread, small bread, tall bread, thin bread, twin bread, dinner rolls, bread with holes, hard, day-old tough bread. Soft, squishy, fluff bread. Bread is toast, bread is crumbs, bread is pizza. Bread is buns. How is bread made? Where is it from? This baker makes his bread from scratch by sowing wheat in his backyard patch. Soon those seeds send down roots and sprout into shoots of bright green grass. The days pass and that grass grows into sturdy blades, tall and straight, finely made, with budding heads and bristly hair, gently waving in the air. When the crop is ripe and old, the tops are bowed and streaked with gold. And every head of wheat contains many tiny finished grains. Time to cut the golden field, gather up the backyard yield. Stack up piles of sun-dried stalks, rub them in a threshing box. It's the simple old-time miller's craft of separating wheat from chaff. What's left are seeds, a hefty load, many times the number sowed. Add each new grain of harvest wheat, looks just like a loaf to eat. Now is the hour to grind those grains into whole wheat flour. With simple tools and easy rules, it's on with the show to make up some dough and bring fresh bread to life. Yeast, honey, water, flour, salt, oil, and muscle power. Dump it, thump it, dust it, knead it, squash it, stretch it. Toss it. Set it aside to rest and rise. It grows and grows to twice the size. Punch it down, give it some shape. Let it rise again, put it into bake. Slice it fresh, it's better than cake. Whatever the shape it finally takes, wherever the place, it finally bakes. Every day we are blessed with a mountain of bread. It's the staff of life. May all be fed. Now it's time to respond to reading. here are some questions about our story. What are some different kinds of bread in the story? What are the steps in making bread? First, next, last? And lastly, what happens to the dough when it is set aside to rest?
Now that we're done reading the story, let's talk about what it was about. The story was about how they made different types of bread. And so we had lots of pictures of different types of bread. We had bagels here. We had regular bread that you use, like a loaf of bread for your sandwiches. We had all sorts. So we had flatbread, big loaves of bread, baguettes, rolls, so many different types of breads. And pizza dough that was used to make pizza here. They showed kids doing different things with the bread. And then it talked to us about how they made the bread and from nature. So we learned about how we needed to plant the seeds and the process that it went through to grow into the wheat that was later turned into the flour. So we learned all about the process of how we get this from nature, because the bread actually comes from nature. And then they talked about how the different steps once you have the flour and the water and all the ingredients on how to make it. And so it's a really fun story, especially for those of us who love bread.
Great job! See you later.